Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Take Note and Move Forward podcast show. I am your host, Notes from Wanda, your forgiveness coach and silence breaker. I hope that you guys are doing well, and I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. If you are tuning in for the very first time to this podcast is all about forgiveness, healing, and moving forward. I also talk about how to cope with flashbacks and painful memories due to rape, domestic violence, and or child molestation. So if you guys could please leave a review or a comment for each episode that you listen to, it will be greatly appreciated. Last week's podcast episode was about trusting your gut and your instincts. When you make a decision to walk away from something or someone, trust yourself and believe that you have made the right decision. Stop going back to that thing or that person as if something has changed, when you know deep down inside nothing has changed. If you hadn't had a chance to listen to that episode, please visit my website at notesfromwanda.com/EP22. Again, it's notesfromwanda.com/EP22. Today's episode is about protecting the abuser versus protecting the victim. We have people who believe that just because the abuser is their uncle, their cousin, their son, their nephew, that they need to protect them and keep them from going to jail, because jail is the worst place for them. Or they feel that the person has been under so much stress and has been struggling, and they don't want to see the abuser to go through anything else. Okay, so what happened to the victim? They're not going through anything? I need you to understand that when you decide to stand up for an abuser because this is your loved one, you're doing more harm than good. When you're not allowing people to face the consequences of their actions, you're teaching them that it's okay to get in trouble again, because you will always be there to protect them and keep the worst from happening. I'm not saying that people deserve the worst that life can offer them, because some people can change after they have made a decision to abuse a woman, to hit her. But how will that person ever change if they don't learn from their mistakes? If they don't have to face any consequences or repercussions, nothing is ever going to teach that person that what they're doing is wrong. And then on top of that, when the victim is seeing that this abuser has so many people standing up for them, family and friends, it makes them feel like, okay, maybe I could have did something to keep him from hitting me. Or maybe I should stop acting like, he did something wrong. Maybe I shouldn't, do this way, or I need to change. Now the victim is second guessing themselves as if something could have changed that moment when he decided to hit her. When the fact of the matter is that it's not her fault that it did happen. It's the abuser's fault. The other issue is that you have some women who believe that because the man is there, they believe that they need to protect the man because he's her husband. She's been his girlfriend for a long time. So she feels like, what goes on in my house is going to stay in my house. I'm not going to say anything about it. He'll change one day. He'll get better. Will he ever get better? Because you're enabling his behavior, just like his family is enabling his behavior. You're beating yourself up just as much as he is beating himself up by you choosing not to say anything each and every time this man hits you. The family that is protecting this man is doing just as much as harm to the victim as the abuser is. You can't be afraid to expose the abuser. You need to put it out there for what it is, for what he is. That way when the next woman comes around, she's fully aware of what she's getting into. And that's the other issue. Everyone is keeping it a secret, and it's nobody's business until someone ends up in the ditch dead somewhere. So now, if it's been swept up under the rug for so long, the next person that dates this man that can't control his anger, his frustration, is going to find out sooner or later how violent he can be. And that's not fair to the previous victim or the victim that is now presently in this abuser's life. When you end up seeing these women on the news dead, lying in a ditch, or lying in a pool of blood on the bathroom floor, and you sit there and think, well, how did this happen? I'll tell you how it happened. Between the enablers, the family that's protecting this man chose not to say something or do anything. All they did was take up for him and cover for him. That's how she ended up there. And then the other part of it is the woman who kept her mouth closed because she felt like it was no one's business. That's how these women end up dead, because they don't think that it will ever. They don't think that it'll ever be them. They think to themselves, that could never be me. He would never kill me. It would never get to that point. How will you know? How would you know? So I just wanted to put this message out there today because I'm noticing a lot of things around me. I'm noticing people that are close to me are actually standing up for the victim as if they would change, they would get better if they just showed them some love or some support. I'm noticing that a lot of women don't want to give up their men, don't want to send them to jail because they don't want to be alone. And no one else is going to come into their lives and be with them or respect them. And this is not what should happen when you have a man walking around hitting on women. As women, we need to stand up for each other and stand with each other when it comes to domestic violence. Support one another. You know you don't want anyone to hit your daughter or hit on you, so don't allow it to happen within your family. Don't allow your son to fall down this rabbit hole where he feels like, oh, the whole world is up against me, when in fact all it is that he did something wrong and he needs to face the consequences of his actions. If you are a mother, then you should understand that you definitely don't want anyone hitting on you. If you are a man that has a mother that's still alive, you should definitely understand that you wouldn't want anyone to hit your mother. So people, let's do better as a society when it comes to standing up against abuse and acting as if it's nobody's business, when in fact it is. Stop waiting until there's a dead body that shows up on the 4 o'clock news, the 5 o'clock news. Stop waiting until you see the police and the ambulance coming with a stretcher to drag a dead body out of the house. Let's not wait till the last moment to do something about these things. Get the abuser some help by allowing them to face the consequences of their actions, even if it's going to jail, anger management, AA, or whatever it is. Let them go and let them heal and go through the steps that they need to go through to try to be a better person. Let's start getting the victim some type of support, letting them know where they can go. Bring them something where they can, like, bring them food or Bring them, a telephone number that they can call if they need help, if they need to talk to someone. Let's do better. If you're not already doing so, please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Notes from Wanda. And don't forget to purchase a copy of my book, which is They Said That I Wouldn't Make It, But Here I Am. It is available on Amazon and through Kindle and Barnes & Noble. Again, the name of the book is called They Said That I Wouldn't Make It, But Here I Am. You can go to notesfromwanda.com/my book, and it will take you to the page to purchase a copy of the book. I'm also available on Facebook at facebook.com/take note, move forward. You guys enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful week. Take care.